Thanks for confirming that. Good. All right, everyone. I think we can kick things off. My name is Jonathan Ritten. I'm part of the ICON team. So for those of you who don't know me, hello. And thanks everyone for joining us for this webinar this morning. The topic today is Elevate, and more specifically, Elevate Rewards. So ICON partnered with Elevate a little over 18 months ago. I'd say around the beginning of 2022, and an incredibly exciting insurance provider that's really disrupting the way financial advisors give advice and disrupting the way they, or rather the way clients are rewarded. A truly client-centric rewards program that adds a huge amount of value to policyholders. So today I'm going to be running you through the mechanics of the rewards, explaining to you how Elevate differs from all of the rewards programs that are out there in the market today. I think rewards can be a bit of a swear word in the industry. You either love rewards or you hate rewards. I do think that there's significant downsides to a lot of the rewards programs out there at the moment. And Elevate's done a lot to try and overcome those negative aspects and create a rewards program that's not only adding value and giving back, but is also sustainable for a client to maintain over the long term. I believe the chat is disabled. I haven't used Zoom webinars in a while, so I apologize about that. But if there are any questions, please can you pop them into the Q&A? I've got the Q&A open in front of me. So yeah, I'll address those as we go along. I don't want this to be a monologue, where I just talk to a screen. So please, engagement is very much encouraged. Okay, so who is Elevate Life? What are they about? What makes them different? So Elevate is a truly digital insurance company from end to end. The entire process is paperless. And what they are able to do is fully underwrite a client in as little as 15 minutes, relying exclusively on client disclosure. Okay, so the vast majority of the cases that we get onto the books are done so without medical testing, without doctor's visits, without any kind of invasive underwriting. So that is a huge benefit to using Elevate. And then enabling clients to leverage their data to get monthly cashbacks on their premiums. Before we get into the rewards, I do just want to position Elevate so you understand where they fit into the landscape. Any new insurance company, it can be daunting for advisors and clients to use them because the question is always asked, are they going to pay claims and are they going to be around for the long term? And am I going to be properly covered, both now and in the future? So Elevate started in 2019, and they were very specific around partnering with some big names in the industry to give them credibility. Okay, so they were born out of a company called Insight Actuaries. Insight Actuaries is the largest independent actuarial consultancy in South Africa. They do a lot of the consulting work for some of the smaller independent medical aid schemes. And they really honed their underwriting skills by managing medical aid risk pools. So as you know, medical aid, the underwriting is done without any invasive medical testing. And it's purely done by applying waiting periods and using other risk management mechanisms. They took this skill set and applied it to the long-term insurance space. Then Alan Gray was an early investor in Elevate. They hold about 25% equity in the business as of today, and they hold a seat on the board of Elevate. So Alan Gray is, or representatives of Alan Gray are directly involved in the day-to-day decision-making, the strategy, as well as from a capital perspective, having invested money into the business early on. And then lastly, Yellow Woods. So Yellow Woods is a venture capital company owned by the Enthoven family. For those of you who don't know the Enthoven family, they own Hollard, they started Nando's, they own Spear Wine Farm down in the Cape. And this is kind of their financial services venture capital company. Again, they've invested money in the business, they hold equity, and they hold a seat on the board. Elevate is what we call a sole captive, so they don't have their own life license. Getting a life license is both extremely capital intensive and time consuming. So Centrique is the life license provider for Elevate. And Centrique is a wholly owned subsidiary of Sanlam. So essentially what that means is all of the underwriting processes, all of the claims processes are Sanlam processes. And if Elevate were ever to close their doors for whatever reason, not that we expect that to happen or foresee that happening, Centrique will become the custodians of those policies, and that risk will sit on Sanlam's balance sheet. Okay, so Sanlam, one of the most well-capitalized companies in the industry, as well as a company that has some of the best ombud stats from a claims perspective in the industry. And then Hanover Re is the sole reinsurer. Okay, so a lot of the risk at this stage is reinsured, again, for capital efficiency. And Hanover is the third largest reinsurer in the world. All right. So some really good peace of mind and security for your clients in terms of claims, solvency, and just long-term security of these policies. Haley has posted a question on the Q&A. Thanks, Haley. It's a really valid question. Will underwriting then be done at claim stage? No, there is no underwriting done at claim stage with Elevate. This is a fully underwritten product. Okay. It relies in most cases on disclosure from the client. Okay, so the client will go through the same question set that they would go through with the traditional application process. It's all done online. Okay, the questions are reflexive. So if you answer yes to something, it's going to ask for more detail around that particular condition. There are checks that are done in the background. So Elevate has integrated with a lot of third-party kind of data providers, specifically at this point, pathology labs. So when you're going through an application, it's actually pulling information from the path labs in real time and validating the questions that are being answered. If something comes up from that process, that case is then flagged and a traditional underwriting process will initiate. In about 70% of cases, in our experience, clients are offered underwriting decisions then and there in real time after having completed the questions. In particularly complex cases, it will default to a more traditional underwriting process. Where we will get PMAs and may ask for some medical tests or medical investigations. Okay, but the vast majority, they're able to offer fully underwritten terms immediately. Okay, so that's just positioning Elevate, who they are, where they fit into the market. To quickly run through their value proposition, it's really three pillars. All right. So the first of all, the first pillar speaks about the experience, an optimized experience, trying to overcome this pain point of lengthy, antiquated underwriting processes, where clients can get terms in real time and they can be covered immediately if they want to be covered. And then fully underwritten comprehensive cover. Okay, so this is not watered down poor benefits, cheap and nasty stuff. It is comparable with the market. And yeah, as Haley asked, underwriting at claim stage, there's no underwriting at claim stage. The client is fully covered from day one. And then lastly, the rewards component to their proposition, okay, which I'm going to be going into detail on today. All right, so this is quite a wordy slide, just explaining, I guess, the rewards philosophy at Elevate. And I said rewards, sorry. Um, Can everyone hear me? Sorry about that. Just had a phone call come through on my headphones and it's cut out the microphone for me. So right at the beginning of the presentation, I was saying that rewards can be a swear word in the industry. It benefits the minority to the detriment of the majority of policyholders in some cases. And very often there is shifting of the goalposts. The reason for this is that a lot of these models rely on cross-subsidization. And that is because they're very, very expensive. There are smoothies that you get on a weekly basis. There are flight discounts. There are, lounge access, gym memberships. All of these things are great, but they cost money. And as a result, certain people need to be penalized to pay the price of the clients who are actually leveraging these rewards to their fullest. And I think when it comes to insurance specifically, that can become problematic. Advice is almost secondary, cover is jeopardized, and for something where you really want peace of mind and security, there are a lot of question marks that come into the fold. Elevate has taken a very different approach to rewards, and I don't even like to call it a rewards program. I prefer to call it a shared incentive scheme or a shared incentive model. Because what this rewards program is really aiming to do is micro price you as an individual. The rewards program looks at 4 components of your life. It allows clients to share data and information around those areas to A, get an idea of you as an individual, and B, nudge you in the right direction to change your behaviors to become a healthier, more financially prosperous, lower risk client. And it's really interesting if you look at the financial model, at the actuarial models, about 70% of our risk is hereditary. We're born with it. We can't change it. It's baked into our DNA. 30% of our risk is based on our behaviors. Am I a smoker? Am I inactive? Do I eat badly? Do I make poor financial decisions? This rewards program is looking at the 30% of behavior that can be influenced, and it is rewarding clients based on them making the right decisions in those spheres of their life. If they do that, it can be priced from an actuarial perspective and given back to the client on a monthly basis in the form of a cashback on their premium. I think this is so important to understand because it means that this model does not rely on cross-subsidization. It is looking at you as an individual based on actuarial models that have been around for decades. And what that means is we should not see shifting of the goalposts on an annual basis or ever, really. Okay, and the rewards that clients can get is up to 35% of their premiums back each month in cold hard cash. Okay, and that 30%, let's look at how that's broken down. What um, what areas of a client's life is Elevate looking at? And yeah, how is that divvied up? So clients will get 6% of their cash back each month just for engaging in the program and sharing data. The areas that you can share data on are your medical aid scheme or personal health information. So Elevate has integrated with certain medical aid schemes. In those cases, data will be pulled seamlessly from your medical aid records. If you are not on a partner medical aid scheme, you can log on to your client portal and you can complete medical or personal health related questionnaires 2 times per year. So it's very uninvasive. You don't need to go for medical testing. You don't need to go for fitness tests. You complete 5 questionnaires twice a year, and that will get you up to 7.5% of your premiums back in cash each month. The second area is wearable data. So this is your smartwatch, your smartphone, any smart device you have that can track your physical activity. They've integrated with 15 fitness tracking apps. And just by activating that data feed via an API in the client portal, again, the client will get 1.5% back in cash each month before they've achieved any goals. By achieving goals, they can get up to 7.5% for that area of their life. The third is credit score. Okay, so you put your ID number in, it does a very check. It looks at what your credit score is. This is probably the easiest one to get cashbacks on. And regardless of what your credit score is, again, just by activating that data source, the client will receive 1.5% back in cash and up to 7.5% for having a healthy credit score or improving their credit score on a monthly basis. And then the last area that Elevate looks at is your financial and banking data. Okay, so they have partnered with Yodely, which is the largest financial services data aggregator in the world. Pretty much every single reporting platform you've ever used uses Yodely. It is absolutely secure, uses banking grade encryption, and clients, again, will get 1.5% back for just linking one account. It can be a bank account, it can be an investment account, and this looks at your financial behavior. A lot of clients get a bit skittish around this one, which is understandable. But as people in the industry, we know that your financial behavior and your financial health is directly linked to your physical health. By having cash or cash reserves, if you do get sick, you have the means to seek medical care and good medical care. Also, on an ongoing basis, you'll have the financial means to take care of yourself and, yeah, proactively manage your health. Okay, so just by engaging, syncing your data through the client portal, clients will get 6% back in cash each month before they've gotten out of bed in the morning. 24% will be linked to achieving personalized goals that are set for the client on a monthly basis. How does the client interact and engage with the rewards program? It's all done through the client portal. So as I said earlier, Elevate is digital from end to end, both for the client and for the advisor. Every single client will automatically get access to a client portal. It's funky, it's colorful, it's interactive, and these are where, or this is where they'll share their data, check their goals, and redeem their cashbacks. They can also complete applications through here. They can manage their policies. They can change banking details, beneficiary details, access their policy statements. So it really puts the power in the hands of the client. Here are the 4 components you can see that I was talking about, your wearables. Okay, you'll just click on the add device button and link whatever fitness tracking account you're using. Healthcare, you'll complete your 5 questionnaires or link your medical aid scheme. Your credit score, so it's really cool. I actually didn't know what my credit score was until I got a client portal with Elevate. which is awesome. And then your financials. You can link your bank account, your investment accounts. It'll aggregate all of that data into one place, and our clients can get a nice full view of their finances. Okay, and then really importantly, what do the goals look like? Are they manageable? Are they going to change? Are they going to, is there going to be constant shifting of the goalposts? Are they going to become unattainable for your clients? Okay, so these are some examples of the goals that will be set for clients. And I just want to reiterate that these goals are personalized. They'll look at a few things. They'll look at the health profile of your client. So if you're obese, if you have some musculoskeletal issues, the fitness goals will be easier than someone who's perfectly healthy. If you're an older client, they'll be, less vigorous, for example. And the second thing is that it'll be based on your engagement. Okay, so it'll pull through your past data from whatever fitness tracking app you're using. It'll peg you at a point, and yes, it will encourage you to up your fitness on a monthly basis until it reaches a ceiling beyond which there'll be no further increases, because data and research indicates that there's actually no health benefits past a certain point. Okay, so long as you're getting a reasonable amount of physical activity that would reduce your mortality risk, that is what Elevate is worried about. So for example, on the physical activity side, completing a targeted number of physical activities and or steps within a period. Okay, so on my portal at the moment, I need to complete an average of 6,000 steps per day this month. It's not an easy goal, but it's a stretch goal that, encourages me to be more active day to day. It also asks for me to do at least 4 vigorous activities this month. So once a week, I need to go and exercise for at least half an hour at 80% of my maximum heart rate. Not too hard to do. The second one here is to maintain or improve your credit score. So luckily, I have a healthy credit score. All I need to do is maintain that healthy credit score, which means pay my debit orders and don't get any inquiries against my name. Just by doing that, I'll get the full 7.5% cashback for credit, which is easy. Take responsible management of any existing health conditions. Okay, so if you have a chronic illness, collect your chronic medication every month so that you don't die. I mean, that's just a basic thing that people who have chronic illnesses should be doing. And bizarrely enough, some people don't do that. They know they've got raised blood pressure. They know they've got, diabetes, and they are not taking their prescription meds, which is just irresponsible. If you're over a certain age, going for preventative screenings, going for your mammograms, going for your prostate checks every year. And again, this can be picked up via your medical aid scheme records. And then on the financial side, reducing over indebtedness. Okay, so if you've used more than 50% of your available credit, it's going to ask you to try and get your level of debt down and increase your net worth. And budgeting. So set a budget and save on a monthly basis. So this is a really cool area where you can bring the whole investment and savings conversation into the picture with your clients. Get them set up on Elevate, get them covered from a risk perspective, and then we can start to look at the investments and encourage them to increase their savings each month, because it's such an important component, not only of their kind of financial lives, but it also has a direct impact on their physical well-being and their health. And then at the moment, vaccinated clients will get 5% cash back for the first 5 years of the policy. This is going to be changing relatively soon because the relevance of your vaccination status isn't as great as it was about a year ago, and it will be replaced with something else which we aren't sure of yet. But as of now, all policyholders who have taken cover out already, and any policyholders who sign up until this changes, if they're vaccinated, they'll get 5% cash back each month for the first 5 years. After 5 years, that 5% will be replaced with something else. Okay, so 6% for sharing your data, 24% for achieving your goals month on month, and 5% for being vaccinated. That adds up to the total of 35% that clients can qualify for. Just so you know, the average policyholder at Elevate, there's about 3,000 policyholders to date. The average cashback is at around 19%. Okay, so it's really not hard to get, close to that 20% mark. I think getting, 20 to 35% does become a bit more difficult for clients. That's when you've really got to make an effort, really engage. But I think 20% back on a monthly basis is not so bad for clients. Again, your goals all managed through the client portal. There is no app for Elevate. This is what we call a web app. So if you go to elevate.co.za on your cell phone, it will render just like an app. So you can log in, interact via your cell phone or on your PC, so any device, iPad, and check your goals on a monthly basis. The goals are measured from the 7th to the 7th of each month. Okay, so the 7th is a significant date in the life of an Elevate policyholder. That is when they will look at your engagement over the last 30 days. Okay, and based on the goals that you've achieved, they'll peg you at a certain percentage cash back and apply that cash back to the policy to the premium that's been paid in the month prior. So if your debit order is on the 1st and you're assessed on the 7th, that percentage cashback will be applied to the premium paid on the 7th. Sorry, on the 1st. Your goals will then be reset and the new month will commence. Okay, so clients must log in at least once a month and check their goals. And then in terms of redeeming your cash, all right, clients will always be debited the full contract premium. So let's say your contract premium is 1,000 Rand per month. They will be debited that every single month. Okay. The cashback percentage will be allocated to a wallet, which they can access via their portal once again. The reason for this is there's a couple of reasons. We don't want any massive fluctuations in clients' premiums month on month. So if you get a 35% cashback one month, your premium's 650 Rand, and then there's no engagement the following month, your premium shoots up to 900 Rand. That's going to make clients unhappy. They're going to come to their advisor and they may even cancel that policy. So the debit orders will be done consistently. And the reason for the cashbacks being allocated to a wallet and not just repaid into your premium paying account is to get the client to engage with the portal. So they want people to log in, they want people to check their goals, they want them to see their data, and they also want that benefit to be tangible. They want the clients to be able to see it and get a real feeling for how much value they're getting back from Elevate. What a lot of advisors have told us is, clients will log in at the end of the year, and if their premium is 2,000 Rand, which is kind of where the average premium is hovering around, there's probably going to be around 5,000 Rand in there, 6,000 Rand for the year. And they use that to book flights to go on holiday or to pay for Christmas presents over the Christmas season. So that will accumulate. Clients can log in. It looks just like this, like a little piggy bank, and they redeem whatever amount of cash they want, and it will get paid into the premium paying bank account within 48 hours. Okay, so a really cool kind of interactive way for clients to see how much value they're getting back from Elevate. All right, and it's a monthly cycle. So I think one of the big benefits to Elevate is This is not a 5-year or a 10-year or a 15-year cashback or a cashback at retirement. It's really instant gratification for clients. They don't need to maintain certain behaviors and not claim on their medical aid for a really long time. They can have a great month with Elevate, get cash back immediately, and the next month, they can be a bit lazier. Just means the cash back is going to be slightly lower in that month. Okay, so that's really the mechanics of the Elevate rewards. It's really very simple. I think the main thing is that this is a client-centric shared incentive scheme that is not only attainable, but it's also sustainable from Elevate's perspective. And I just want to run you through some of the key points that we believe make Elevate different from other rewards programs out there. So the first one, as I've just said, it's an aligned incentive. If clients are doing these things, all it means is Elevate's going to pay fewer claims in the future, and these policies are going to have much better persistency. They're going to stay on the books for longer, and that's a win-win for everyone. Elevate wants all clients to get as much of the reward as possible. Okay, and it's not going to rely on any cross subsidization. It's included at no additional cost. Okay, so policyholders don't pay for Elevate rewards. If they don't want to participate in the rewards, that's absolutely fine. They don't have to. It's there and it can only ever benefit them. Cashbacks are immediate. Okay, so every single month, your client will hopefully enjoy at least an 11% cashback if they're, assuming they're vaccinated, but at the bare minimum, a 6% just by sharing data. And the rest is just based on their personal engagement in achieving those personalized goals. Again, it's not a distant goal. And I mean, just to speak from personal experience, my folks have got they've got a rewards program that they're very heavily integrated with, and they're paying premiums that they cannot afford. So they're in their early 60s, nearing retirement. I think they're spending about 15,000 Rand per month on insurance that they no longer really need. And this cash back that they're getting, I think at age 65 is now part of their retirement plan. They don't have enough money to retire. And they're just hoping that nothing changes in this model. They don't claim on any of the benefits that have been integrated because that's going to negatively impact on their cash back at retirement. And I just think that that's quite a scary scenario, both as a policyholder and as, a family member and a loved one, because that's not certain. And those exorbitant premiums could be used for something else, like saving for retirement. So I think the fact that this is monthly is great. It doesn't encourage any kind of unwanted financial behavior like that, where clients are stuck in this model and they can't get out because they're chasing this distant goal that may be years away. And then the next point I think is probably the most important for me. This can only ever benefit clients. All right, it's a carrot. It's never used as a stick to punish people. And that means that the advice that you give is not going to be jeopardized. Premiums are not going to increase faster. Cover's not going to increase slower. The policy does what it says it does, and the rewards is just the cream on top. The premiums to begin with, and we've been quoting this product for, as I said, almost 18 months. The premiums before rewards are taken into account are very competitive. So we always encourage our advisors never sell based on the discounted premium, always position it with the clients in terms of the contracted premium. And those rewards are, again, just the cream on top for the policyholder if they're doing the right things from a risk perspective and managing their risks responsibly. There are no invasive medical tests. You don't need to go for HIV or cholesterol tests on an annual basis. You don't need to do any bio visits or fitness tests. It's completely uninvasive and it's all done via the client portal. And what that means is advisors don't need to become rewards coaches. Okay, you don't need to have wellness days. There's been a lot of behavioral science that has been taken into consideration when developing this rewards program, and the portal is very engaging and interactive. Elevate will even communicate directly with clients if they can see they haven't, integrated their data or they're struggling to integrate their data. If they aren't engaging, they'll get little nudges and communications from Elevate to get them engaged and active. Okay, we do not think that it is the responsibility of the advisor to do that, although you're absolutely welcome to do that if you want to. Okay, and then lastly, we've just got a few more minutes left. I want to finish off with a bit of a case study to show you how I think Elevate Rewards should be positioned and how it can benefit your clients in terms of their future premium increases. So I've just done a quote yesterday. It's a 32-year-old client, my age. And let's say he's a very wealthy 32-year-old because he needs 15 million rand of life cover for estate duty purposes. Okay, so 15 million life cover. The premium comes out at 1,400 rand for this individual. Ignore the cover escalations. We can add a cover escalation if we wanted to. I just used a level benefit with a fixed 10% premium increase. Okay, the other nice thing about Elevate is you can actually fix your premium and benefit increases to make your premiums really sustainable and predictable over time. So I could have had a 5% benefit increase and a 10% premium increase, and that would mean my benefit would increase by 5, and my total premium increase would be 10% per year. So very sustainable, very predictable, year in and year out. This is just the premium projection. Okay, so as expected, the premiums are increasing by 10% per year. So I just want to pull this slide up again. Let's assume that this is a really lazy policyholder. Okay, they do not want to engage in any physical activity. They don't want to achieve any goals. They don't care. They've logged in once and they've synced their data in the portal. That will qualify them for 6% cashback before they've done anything. Okay, so 24% for achieving goals. That's not going to happen with this person. And then let's assume that they are vaccinated. Okay, we add those two up. This client will get 11% of their premium back every single month for nothing. Okay. If we project the premiums forward, okay, so this premium is increasing by 10% per year, and the client is getting an 11% premium back, 11% of their premium back each month. And let's assume they're just banking that, they don't use it. I mean, this guy needs 15 million for estate duty, doesn't need 150 Rand cashback from Elevate. Okay, so the cashback in year one is 11% per month of 1,410 Rand. It's 155 Rand per month. That would be 1,861 Rand for the year that this client has saved. In year two, his premium goes up by 10%. It goes up by 1,692 Rand. This saving can be used to pay his premium increase in year two. In year two, okay, the new premium is 1,551 Rand. The saving is 171 Rand per month, 2,047 Rand for the year. That can pay the premium increase for year three of 1,861 Rand. And then again in year three, the premium goes up to 1,700. The cashback is 188 Rand per month, and the saving is 2,252 Rand for the year. Okay, that pays for the premium increase going into year four. I think you get the picture. So assuming that clients don't, withdraw this money, and I mean, they can spend it on whatever they want, they can also use it to fund their future premium increases, which improves the sustainability and overall longevity of their policies. So I think that this is a really sustainable, cool way to reward clients. It's a very great way to kind of encourage people to live a healthier lifestyle. But I think most importantly, it can benefit clients for the long term. And because it does not rely on shared incentives, because it's only ever beneficial to the client, I do think that it is one of the best rewards programs, if not the best reward program in the market today. So that is my story in terms of Elevate Rewards, short and sweet. Thank you all for your time. If you do have any questions, please pop them into the Q&A. I will address them before I leave. Otherwise, I will distribute this presentation and the recording to everyone on the call today. And yeah, I hope you all have a good Thursday and a good rest of the week. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to anyone at Icon. And yeah, we'll answer those for you later on.